What's going on? It's out here in the woods getting some sticks, and I saw these. There they are. I think these mushrooms right here are the reindeer mushrooms. These things are basically what the legend of Santa Claus is based off of. This guy in a red suit, because it's like it kind of gives everything this rosy glow, supposedly. I mean, I wouldn't try it, but at least that's what the legends say. But what's weird is that, all right, drugs, right? You know, like there's a big taboo. Like, you're the biggest piece of crap in the world if you experiment. You know, especially with these psychedelics, man. These psilocybin and mescaline and these natural occurring properties, right? But it's like right here, like I heard this Indian guy one time say, and it hasn't failed me this far. He said that if you want to know where the medicine is at, he's like, watch the animals and see what they eat and how they eat, and they'll teach you things. And you know, and basically that's almost like a biblical concept as well. You're supposed to observe the animals and see if they chew with the cud or not. So it's kind of like same thing. Adam had to name all the animals, right? So it's kind of like that's kind of why I come out here and get some therapy, man, and reconnect with the natural world, because it's like you know, the Bible says that the heavens is his throne and the earth is his footstool, you know. So and it's kind of, you know, it's like you see how these things, you know, how things are kind of in their particular orders, kind of how they respond to one another out here in nature. It's all automatic, dude. It's like yeah, it's like when you look around out here, man, there's not too much stuff that looks spontaneous. It's kind of like you see kind of a deliberate patterns, like it's encoded into this creation. And you know, it's like it's often people, you know, if you are too interested in nature, they tend to call you a pagan, or think you're some kind of spirit worshiper, nature worshiper. But nah, it's like I give proper credit to where it's due. God created all this, and Jesus is the firstborn of every living creature. You know, and he was what is it? The one who was in the beginning. You know, definitely seems like there's a lot of intentionality when you get out here and kind of just do a little observation. And you know, it's like especially like in Job's and the Psalms, Ecclesiastes, there's many, like there's a whole nature poetry language, and it's like sometimes people get it twisted because it's like you know, like there's the Habakkuk, I think it's 4:3, 4:4, and he's like, the Lord makes my feet like deer's feet or hind's feet. And it's like, is he saying like God makes him like a satyr and he's part goat, man? No, it's like an analogy, and it's a poetic, like, because in the creation of the deer, He's so nimble. Like, these things are everywhere around here, and dodging them like bullets. That by saying that God's allowed someone to be as nimble as that is like a great compliment, not only to the person but also to the creator of this creation. So I use creation to observe things that the creator did. So it's not like I think, oh yeah, Mother Earth just did this or did that all on her own. And I mean, that's more evolution, and I don't believe in evolution. Believe in adaptation, which means things kind of go through cycles. According to the environmental circumstances, it activates different stuff that's already in there. So it's not really a mutation; it's just adaptation. It's brought about by epigenetics, which are kind of basically environmental factors. Kind of like if you grow up in an abusive home, chances are you might have abusive tendencies, kind of a thing. So they would say, oh, that's just bad genetics. But no, it's just really kind of like, what is it called? It's called narcissistic damage or something like that. It's like basically from being in close proximity to a thing, like you have this kind of this poison in you from it, from having to handle it. Yeah, this is awesome out here, though. Great day for a little stroll. Yeah, I come out here and find morel mushrooms, too. Random bird feathers, too. I'm clanking all through here. I'm suited up, though. It's like, this dude was telling me, found some guy's body. It's like thousands of bite marks on him from wild dogs, so it's kind of like, I'd rather have my chatty than nothing, just in case. But I mean, yeah, definitely see coyotes and dogs and stuff around. But normally coyotes don't really attack people. But there's hybrids, hybrid dog, wild dog. Wild dogs have a tendency to be more ferocious towards humans because of epigenetics. Because of the environment, it got this this gene that passed through, which was don't be afraid of humans because they can be your allies, and but then they go back into the wild, and that becomes a really bad trait where it's like, hey, you can attack them humans and eat them. Especially because it's like, in here, once again, it's like animals, like a dog by itself might not attack you, but look, once it gets into the pack mentality, it's like not only do you have each individual animal, but the group starts to act like one unit in itself. And it's more powerful because they can attack in unison, and they kind of just they do what's just natural to them, and that's pretty deadly. Pretty deadly if they get the drop on you, and you can't protect yourself. Like basically, if one latches on, you can't run. You're already injured, and while you're busy trying to fend that one off, another one's going to come from another obscure angle because it's going to see that you're freaking preoccupied with the other one, because dogs are like, they watch your eye contact, your body language. They can hear your freaking heart rate and your breath. So, I mean, like, dogs are like sizing you up in a totally different way, like sizing you up to eat you. uh, and I wouldn't want to be that guy, in other words. You know, and as a, you know, humans can become like that too. They can get this pack mentality, this cliquey gang, cult like. Uh, I mean, yeah, it's quite common in this day and time, like, because it's like it's easier to hide behind a group, you know, be all brave when you're, you know, all deep. But, you know, going alone, being willing to go it alone when you got to, you know, it's almost unavoidable. What is it? I'd rather be judged by 12 and carried by 6. Something to that extent. Yeah, and it's like, it's kind of like the dog that's gonna be the leader isn't actually, the reason it gets chosen as leader is because it's the least social. And if you're too social, you end up being, you know, beta action. And that's kind of funny. So conforming to the group in the wild doesn't work the way that they think it is out here. Like, I'm part of the cool club. Like, I got clout. Like, I got juice. But it's all just, it's just ego tripping. Thinking highly of yourself, high-mindedness. Living vicariously through other people, through this group. But, you know, there is a kind of healthy, proper form of that, like with family and community. But it's kind of like they try to pin you. See, if you're, you know, if your people are already following the crowd like that, then it's best to break away and do your own thing. But it should be a place, you know, where you got people on the same mission. But the way, you know, society just has a way of pitting everybody against one another. And that's kind of, you know, why I make people susceptible to that pack mentality, because they think they'll be avoiding, you know, like all that bullying that they do to people that ain't in their group. Like, they see that, and it's kind of like, they're like, whoa, dude, it's blood in, blood out now, man. All these people and all the stuff we done, they're gonna turn on. They turn on me, man. It's gonna not be cool. Kind of like in that book, Call of the Wild. Like, there's this dude named Fritz, and Buck bites his leg, and the whole pack eats it. Ooh, look at this fossil. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh. Yeah, I find some nice, like, coral fossils around this way.